The galaxy was very old. For millions of years, stars were born and stars died, and many races rose and fell. Wars had burned entire systems. Empires had crushed weaker worlds. Then, slowly, peace had come. Not true peace, but quiet. Trade ships moved between planets. Patrol fleets guarded borders. Councils met and argued, then went home. Everyone believed the great age of fear was finished. In the center of the galaxy stood the High Council station. It was a massive ring of silver metal, floating near a blue star. From here, the leaders of 20 powerful races watched over known space. On this day, the council hall was calm. Tall beings with crystal skin sat beside short creatures with glowing eyes. Machines whispered data into the air. Holographic maps showed trade routes, calm borders, and steady traffic. No alarms. No warnings. No danger. The speaker of the council, an old being named Valoran, rose slowly from his seat. Today, he said in a soft voice, we discuss border taxes and shipping laws. Some leaders sighed in boredom. The galaxy was peaceful. Too peaceful. Then, something changed. One small red light appeared on the central map. At first, no one noticed. It blinked once. Then again. A young scanner officer looked up from her console. Her 4 eyes widened. That is strange, she whispered. She adjusted her controls and zoomed in. The red light was not a ship. It was too large. Speaker Valoran, she said carefully, an unknown object has entered the outer border. Valoran lifted one long finger. Another trader lost in hyperspace? No, sir, the officer replied. This object did not use any gate. It appeared, directly. Murmurs spread through the hall. Direct entry into border space was rare. Only advanced races could do that. Valoran nodded calmly. Identify it. The scanners moved. Data flowed. Numbers flashed. Then, the screens froze. The officer blinked. Scanner error. She reset the system. Again, the screen froze. All systems report, unknown structure, she said. Size, larger than any battleship on record. Now the hall grew quiet. A ship larger than any battleship? Impossible. Another officer spoke. No energy trail. No warp mark. No gate signature. Valoran frowned. So, where did it come from? No one answered. The red light slowly moved closer. Closer to the heart of known space. Still, no weapons fire. No message. No signal. Just silent movement. The council ordered visual contact. A large image filled the center of the hall. Gasps echoed from every seat. The object was enormous. Long and dark, shaped like a spear made of metal. Its surface was smooth and heavy, covered in deep lines and thick armor plates. No windows. No lights. No visible engines. It looked less like a ship. And more like a weapon. A general from the Drakari Empire leaned forward. That is not a scout, he said. That is a warship. Several leaders nodded. But something felt wrong. Warships always showed flags. Energy shields. Weapon heat. This one showed nothing. It floated silently, like it did not care who was watching. Valoran spoke again. Mark its origin. The scanners tried to trace its path backward. The line stretched far, very far. Then stopped. At the edge of a small, distant system. A forgotten system. One council member laughed. That place has only one young race. They barely travel beyond their moon. Valoran studied the data. Name the system. The officer hesitated. Sol system, she said. Third planet. Earth. Silence. Several leaders exchanged confused looks. Humans, someone asked. That weak race? Primitive, another said. They still use slow drives and chemical weapons. Valoran stared at the image. That ship is not primitive. The red light continued forward. Now inside main trade space. Still no message. Still no weapons. But across the station, something strange began to happen. Long-range sensors failed. Navigation beacons blinked off. Communication channels filled with static. One by one, systems across the station went silent. Fear crept into the hall like cold air. Valoran rose slowly to his full height. All fleets, he commanded, moved to defensive positions. Dozens of ships changed course. Battle formations formed. Weapons warmed. Still, the unknown ship did nothing. It simply waited. Floating in open space. As if watching. Valoran felt a deep unease. This was not a mistake. This was not an accident. This was an arrival. And for the first time in many centuries, the galaxy felt something it had almost forgotten. Not anger. Not hatred. But quiet, heavy fear. Because whatever had come from Earth had come with purpose. And the galaxy was not ready to learn what that purpose was. The council hall was no longer calm. Voices whispered across the wide chamber. Leaders leaned close to each other. Even the machines spoke faster now, sending quiet warnings through the air. On every screen, the strange ship remained. Silent. Dark. Unmoving. It had stopped near the edge of the main trade lane. Not blocking traffic. Not attacking. Just, present. Valoran studied it carefully. No shields visible, he said. No engine glow. No power signals. A science leader shook his head. That is impossible. Any ship this size must burn energy like a star. But it does not, the officer replied. Our sensors read almost nothing. The ship looked dead. Yet everyone in the hall felt it was very much alive. A tall being from the crystal race rose slowly. Perhaps it is a drifting wreck, she said. The scanner officer zoomed in. The image sharpened. Deep marks ran across the hull, long scars, old and heavy. Layers of armor covered its surface, thick enough to stop suns. This ship has fought many wars, the officer whispered. No one argued. Valoran gave a slow command. Send greeting signal. Peace protocol. A simple message was transmitted. Unknown vessel, this is the High Council of the Galactic Union. Identify yourself. Seconds passed. No reply. They tried again. Different language codes. Ancient signal forms. Still, silence. The ship did not answer. It did not even turn. Maybe it cannot hear us, said a general. Or it chooses not to, replied another. Valoran ordered a closer scan. Small drones left the station, flying carefully toward the dark giant. As the drones approached, their cameras showed details no one had seen before. Weapon ports. Thousands of them. Hidden along the hull, sealed behind thick armor doors. Missile tubes the size of city towers. Cannons larger than destroyers. Strange circular structures that no database could explain. The hall fell into shocked silence. This is not a battleship, the Drakari general said quietly. This is a fortress. One drone moved closer to the ship's side. Suddenly, it vanished. No explosion. No warning. Just, gone. Another drone turned back quickly. Before it could escape, it also disappeared. The remaining drones froze in place. Fear rippled through the council. The ship destroyed them, someone whispered. No, said the scanner officer, staring at her screen. There was no weapon fire. She enlarged the image. At the spot where the drones vanished, space itself looked strange. Twisted. Bent. Some kind of gravity field, she said. Or space control weapon. Valoran felt cold. No known race had such technology. He spoke carefully. Track the ship's internal structure. The scanners tried to look inside. For the first time, they succeeded. A faint image appeared. The inside was not hollow. It was filled. Entire decks stacked over each other. Power cores like small suns. And something else. Movement. Millions of life signs. Crew. This ship carries an army, the officer said. An army larger than many planets, the crystal leader whispered. Still, no message. Still, no threat. But the ship slowly rotated. Not toward the station. Toward a distant border system. A weak system. A place of small colonies and mining worlds. Valoran's eyes widened. That direction leads toward the Zirin sector. A young race lived there. Poor. Weak. Unprotected. Why would a human ship move there? Asked the leader. Before anyone could answer. A new signal appeared. Not from the human ship. From the Zirin sector. An emergency call. Broken. Panicked. Help, unknown fleet, attacking, cities burning. The signal cut off. The council froze. Someone was attacking the Zirin worlds. And the human battleship was moving directly toward them. Was this a coincidence? Or a plan? The ship increased speed. Slowly. Calmly. Like a hunter walking toward wounded prey. Valoran stood tall. All fleets, he ordered, follow at safe distance. We observe only. Dozens of warships formed behind the human giant. None dared move ahead of it. As they traveled, more strange data appeared. The human ship changed its shape. Armor plates shifted. Weapon doors opened. Power levels rose. Not suddenly. Controlled. Precise. Like a warrior waking from sleep. The Drakari general swallowed. It is preparing for battle. But not against us, said Valoran. The ship reached the edge of the Zirin sector. Ahead, faint explosions lit the stars. Alien raiders tore through small colonies. Defense stations burned. Refugee ships fled in panic. The human battleship stopped. For one long moment. It watched. The council waited, breath held. Then. A soft signal finally left the human ship. Only 3 words. Broadcast to every channel. To every race. To every world. Stand back. Humanity is here. And for the first time. The galaxy understood. This ship was not coming to threaten. It was coming to judge. The stars over the Zirin sector burned with fear. Small worlds glowed red with fire. Mining stations broke apart in silence. Thin lines of refugee ships fled into deep space, engines screaming, hearts shaking. Above them all, the human battleship waited. It did not rush forward. It did not attack. It simply observed. From the council fleet far behind, every commander watched in silence. The raider fleet was large. Hundreds of ships, sharp and fast, armed with plasma cannons and swarm missiles. They moved through the sector without fear, destroying everything in their path. To them, the giant human ship was only another target. One raider captain laughed when he saw it. Another slow fortress, he said. Break it open and take the metal. The raider fleet turned. Weapons charged. Missiles launched. Thousands of glowing trails rushed toward the human battleship. The council gasped. This was the moment. The first test. The human ship did not dodge. It did not raise visible shields. The missiles hit. Light filled space. Fire washed over the dark hull. Explosions rolled across the armor like storms. For several seconds, nothing could be seen. Then the fire faded. And the human ship remained. Not damaged. Not broken. Not even slowed. The armor was untouched. The raider fleet fell silent. Their weapons had done nothing. At last, the human ship moved. Not forward. But slightly, upward. A strange field formed around it. Invisible. Quiet. Then the first message from Earth arrived. Not loud. Not angry. Clear. Calm. Broadcast on every frequency. To every ship. To every world. This is the human defense fleet. You are attacking protected civilians. Stop now. Leave this sector. This is your only warning. The raider commanders laughed. One leader answered. We do not fear humans, he said. This sector is ours now. The human reply came at once. Short. Simple. Understood. And then, the human ship changed. The dark hull began to glow with deep blue lines. Energy moved across its surface like living light. Weapon ports opened. Not all. Only a few. The council held its breath. The human ship selected 3 targets. Only 3. From its side, 3 thin beams of light appeared. No sound. No flash. They touched the raider ships. For one heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the raider ships collapsed. Not exploded. Collapsed. Their metal folded inward. Their reactors vanished. Their crews disappeared. 3 powerful warships, erased. The raider fleet froze. Panic spread through their ranks. This is impossible, one captain shouted. Retreat. But it was too late. The human ship moved again. Slowly. Forward. Each step through space felt heavy, like the galaxy itself was watching. Another message left the ship. We will not chase you. We will not hunt you. But you will leave. Now. Some raiders tried to flee. The human ship did not follow. Instead, something strange happened. The space around the raider fleet bent. Their jump drives failed. Their engines slowed. They were trapped. Not destroyed. Held. The council could not understand this weapon. Control of space itself. Valoran whispered, they are not here to kill. They were here to stop. The raider leader sent a final desperate message. We surrender. The human reply came soft and steady. Power down your weapons. Release all prisoners. Return stolen supplies. Then you may go. The raiders obeyed. Weapons shut down. Cargo doors opened. Refugee ships were released. Slowly, the space around them returned to normal. The raider fleet escaped, broken and silent. The battle was over. No worlds destroyed. No cities lost. The human battleship turned its weapons away. Power levels fell. Armor plates closed. Once again, it became quiet. Across the council fleet, no one spoke. They had witnessed something new. Not cruelty. Not conquest. Control. Power used with purpose. Valoran stood slowly. Humans did not come to rule, he said. They came to protect. The human ship sent one final message to the Xeran worlds. We will stay until your borders are safe. You are not alone anymore. For the first time in many centuries, a weak race felt hope. And across the galaxy, every empire began to ask the same question. If one human ship could do this, what could the rest of humanity do? Because now everyone understood one truth. Humans were not the strongest race. They were not the oldest. They were not the largest. But they were the race that chose to stand between danger and the innocent. And that was far more frightening than any weapon. Peace did not last long. Across the galaxy, the news spread fast. One human ship had stopped a full invasion. One human ship had controlled space itself. One human ship had saved weak worlds without taking anything. Many races felt relief. But others felt fear. And fear often becomes anger. In a dark corner of the western sectors lived an ancient empire. The Car Dominion. They were old, proud, and cruel. For centuries, they ruled through terror. Their fleets destroyed worlds that disobeyed. Their kings believed no race could challenge them. When they heard about the human battleship, they laughed. A single ship, the Car Emperor said. A story made larger by weak races. But deep inside, he felt doubt. And doubt was dangerous. So the Car chose to test humanity. Not with words. With blood. They selected a border system near human space. A small human colony. Only miners and families lived there. No fleets. No defenses. Perfect bait. Without warning, Car warships attacked. Stations burned. Cities broke. Signals of pain spread through space. And then they waited. Would the humans come? In the High Council, alarms exploded across the hall. Human colony under attack. Car fleets detected. Civilians trapped. Valoran turned toward the image of the human battleship. The dark giant still floated near the Xeran sector. Silent. Watching. For one long moment, it did nothing. Some council members whispered. Perhaps they only protect allies. Perhaps humans fear the Car. Perhaps the stories were lies. Then, the human ship moved. Not slowly this time. Instantly. Space bent around it. And the battleship vanished. Across the galaxy, every sensor screamed. The human ship had jumped without a gate. Without a signal. Without any known method. It reappeared inside the human colony system. Directly between the Car fleet and the burning world. The Car commanders froze. That ship, one whispered. It followed us. The human battleship did not send a message. Not yet. First, it acted. A shield formed around the planet. Huge. Invisible. Unbreakable. Car weapons hit it. And failed. Missiles turned to dust. Beams bent away. Nothing passed through. The colony was safe. Then the human ship finally spoke. Calm. Clear. This world is under human protection. Leave now. The Car Admiral laughed. We are the Car Dominion, he replied. No race commands us. The human answer came soft. We are not commanding. We are warning. The Car opened fire. All weapons. All fleets. Space filled with flame. The human battleship did not dodge. It did not retreat. Instead, it released something new. From its lower hull, hundreds of small objects drifted out. Silent. Dark. Simple. The Car ignored them. Then the objects activated. time itself slowed. Missiles froze in place. Fighters stopped moving. Explosions paused mid-fire. The car fleet was trapped inside a bubble of stillness. Only the human ship could move. Slowly, it flew through the frozen battlefield. Passing burning ships. Passing silent crews. Passing stopped death. It reached the car command ship. A message entered the admiral's mind directly. Not words. Feelings. Calm. Strength. And a single truth. We do not kill without reason. The human ship fired once. Not at the fleet. At the car command core. The admiral's ship lost all power. No explosion. No death. Just silence. The time field ended. The car fleet returned to motion. But now, their leader was powerless. Their weapons shut down. Their engines failed. They were floating, helpless. The human voice returned to all channels. You attacked civilians. This ends now. Leave this system. Never return. If you harm human worlds again, we will not stop you. We will remove you. The words were not angry. That made them far more terrifying. The car obeyed. Slowly. Quietly. They retreated. Not defeated by force. But by control. When they were gone, the human battleship lowered its shield. Rescue ships moved to the planet. Fires ended. Lives were saved. From the council fleet far away, Valoran watched in awe. They did not destroy an empire, he whispered. They taught one to fear. Across the galaxy, the message was clear now. Humans were not passive. Humans were not weak. And humans did not protect only friends. They protected their people. And anyone who harmed them would face something worse than death. They would face humanity's judgment. And in the dark halls of every empire, leaders began to ask a new question. Not, can we fight humans? But, can we survive them, if we anger them? The galaxy did not sleep after that day. News of the car defeat traveled faster than light. From trade stations to royal halls, from war fleets to quiet farms, one story was told again and again. A single human ship had stopped an empire. Not with destruction. Not with hatred. With control. Soon, every star map changed. Borders near human space were closed. Fleets were recalled. Secret war plans were erased. No one wanted to be the next test. In the High Council station, emergency meetings filled every hall. Leaders argued. Generals warned. Scientists panicked. They bend space, one said. They stop time, another whispered. They read minds, a third claimed. No one knew the limits of human power. And that was the greatest fear. Valoran stood before the council again. We must speak with them, he said. Before fear becomes war. Many disagreed. They are too strong, said one leader. They will rule us, said another. They will enslave us, a third cried. Valoran shook his head. They did not take land. They did not demand tribute. They did not threaten us. They protected the weak. That is not the behavior of conquerors. Still, doubt remained. Far away, in secret halls and dark stations, other meetings took place. Not in public. Not peaceful. In the shadows, three great empires formed a silent pact. The Varn Collective. The Iron Throne of Moltec. And the Shadow Kin. Ancient enemies. United by fear. If humans become guardians, said a Moltec lord, we lose power. If they protect weak worlds, said a Shadow elder, we lose slaves. If they control space, said the Varn Queen, we lose the future. So they chose a dangerous path. Not attack. Not war. Deception. They spread lies. Across the galaxy, hidden channels sent false stories. Humans destroyed peaceful fleets. Humans stole technology. Humans planned to rule all races. Fear grew. Small races began to panic. Refugees fled human borders. Allies doubted. Neutral worlds closed gates. The human battleship remained silent. Still guarding. Still watching. Still protecting colonies. But the galaxy changed. One day, a small trade convoy near human space vanished. No signal. No wreckage. Blame fell instantly. Humans did it, the rumors said. They erased ships to hide their plans. Another station exploded near the frontier. Again, whispers blamed Earth. The Council demanded answers. Valoran sent a message to the human ship. No reply. Not yet. Inside the human battleship, something else was happening. The crew watched the galaxy carefully. They saw the lies spread. They saw fear rise. They saw alliances break. The human commander, Captain Elias Ward, stood before a quiet bridge. Someone is pushing the galaxy toward war, he said. His officers nodded. They want us to strike first, one said. They want us to become monsters, another whispered. Ward shook his head. We will not. But then, a final message arrived. A human outpost. Destroyed. Children among the dead. The room went silent. Ward closed his eyes. They crossed the line, he said softly. The human ship turned. Not toward an empire. Toward the truth. Deep scans traced the vanished convoys. Hidden signatures. False trails. All leading to one place. A secret base between three empires. The pact headquarters. The place where lies were born. The human battleship arrived unseen. No alarms. No warning. It did not attack the base. It recorded. It listened. It watched. Inside, leaders spoke freely. We blamed humans, said one. The galaxy fears them now, said another. Soon the council will strike first, a third laughed. The human ship transmitted everything. Every word. Every plan. Every crime. To the High Council. To every public channel. To the entire galaxy. Truth exploded across the stars. Lies collapsed. All eyes turned to the three empires. Shock. Anger. Rage. The High Council moved fast. Sanctions fell. Fleets surrounded borders. Trade stopped. For the first time. The galaxy punished its own liars. The human ship finally spoke. A message sent to all races. We do not seek war. We do not seek rule. We protect our people. We protect the innocent. But we will not allow fear to be used as a weapon. Choose peace. Or choose to face yourselves. The words were simple. But they ended a crisis that could have burned the galaxy. Slowly, trust began to return. Weak worlds asked for human protection. Trade reopened near human space. Allies sent greetings. But something else had changed forever. Now the galaxy understood something new. Humanity did not rule by force. They ruled by choice. They could destroy empires. They could stop time. They could control space. But they chose restraint. And that frightened the galaxy more than any weapon. Because the most dangerous power is power that chooses not to be used. And in distant halls, Older beings whispered a new title. Not humans. Not Earth. But the silent guardians of the stars. For a long time after the crisis, the galaxy stayed quiet. Fleets returned home. Borders reopened. Trade ships moved again. But one question remained in every mind. Why? Why were humans so powerful? And yet so careful? Why did they protect strangers? Why did they refuse power? No empire understood this. So at last, the High Council made a brave choice. They invited the humans to speak. Not in secret. Not through messages. But face to face. For the first time in history, a human delegation arrived at the High Council station. Not warships. Not fleets. One small transport. Inside were only 3 humans. No armor. No weapons. Just simple uniforms. The council hall was silent as they entered. They looked small. Fragile. Soft. Nothing like the legends. Valoran welcomed them. "We thank you for coming," he said gently. "The galaxy wishes to understand you." The human leader stepped forward. Captain Elias Ward. The same commander who controlled the great battleship. Now standing without shields. Without guards. Without fear. "We did not come to rule," Ward said calmly. "We came to explain." The council waited. Ward touched a small device. A star map appeared. Not of the galaxy. Of one small system. Sol. "This is our home," Ward said. Images changed. A blue planet. Oceans. Clouds. Cities. "Humans were not born strong," he continued. "We were weak." The images shifted. Early human cities burned. Wars between nations. Missiles falling. Children crying. "For thousands of years, we fought ourselves," Ward said. "We almost destroyed our world many times." Some council members leaned forward. They had not expected this. Then new images appeared. Hospitals full. Doctors running. Families holding hands. People helping strangers. "We learned something slowly," Ward said. "That power without care destroys everything." The map changed again. A dark time. Plagues. Floods. Famine. "Many humans died," he said softly. "We lost children. We lost families. We lost worlds inside our hearts." The hall was completely silent now. Ward looked around. "When we finally reached the stars, we carried our past with us." The image shifted again. Early human ships destroyed by pirates. Colonies burned. Weak human worlds attacked. "We were once like the races you protect," he said. "Small. Afraid. Alone." His voice grew quiet. Then one day, someone attacked a ship carrying children. The image froze. A small transport. Broken in space. Floating toys. Ward closed his eyes. No weapons. No soldiers. Only families. The council felt a heavy pain. That day, Ward said, humanity changed forever. New images appeared. Massive shipyards. Scientists working. Engineers building. "We decided something simple," he said. "No child of any race will face the darkness alone again." Valoran whispered, "So you built, guardians." Ward nodded. "Not soldiers. Protectors." The final image appeared. The great human battleship. New. Bright. Silent. We named it The Promise. A soft sound moved through the hall. "The Promise," Ward said, is not our strongest ship. It is our first. Shock spread across the council. First, someone whispered. Ward smiled slightly. We built many. But we only send one. Because one is usually enough. The council felt cold. Valoran asked the question everyone feared. If you are so strong, why not rule us? Ward looked at him. Because we remember what it feels like to be ruled. Simple words. Heavy truth. We protect because once, no one protected us. Silence filled the hall. No empire spoke. No general moved. For the first time, the galaxy understood humanity. Not monsters. Not gods. Survivors. A race shaped by pain, who chose mercy. Ward ended quietly. We do not fear your fleets. We do not fear your weapons. We only fear becoming what once hurt us. He bowed his head. And that is why we stand between danger and the weak. The humans left. No speeches. No demands. Just truth. After they were gone, Valoran sat slowly. So this is why, he whispered. Across the galaxy, the story spread. Not of weapons. Not of power. But of a race that remembered suffering. And chose to protect others from it. And now, a final question remained. If this was only their beginning, what future was humanity preparing for? Because somewhere deep in human space, new ships were being built. Not for war, but for something far greater. Something the galaxy had not yet imagined. Time passed. Weeks turned into months. The galaxy slowly learned to live again. Trade returned. Wars slowed. Borders softened. But nothing was the same. Every star map now showed a new symbol. A quiet mark near human space. Not a danger sign. A shield. Weak worlds moved closer to human borders. Refugee ships asked for passage. Small races sent messages of thanks. And always, the same ship watched. The Promise. Floating between light and darkness. Silent. Still. Guarding. But legends grow fastest in silence. Stories began to spread. Some said the ship could destroy suns. Others said it could stop time forever. Some whispered it carried an army of machines. Children told stories of the Star Guardian. Pilots prayed when they passed human space. Kings changed plans when maps touched Earth's border. Humanity had become a boundary between safety and chaos. One day, a strange visitor arrived. Not a fleet. Not an empire. One ancient being. Older than most stars. The Archivist. A living memory of the galaxy. He requested to meet the human commander. Not to threaten. Not to judge. To record. Captain Ward met him aboard the Promise. The ancient being moved slowly through the halls, touching walls, feeling power in the air. I have seen 1,000 empires rise, the Archivist said. And 1,000 fall. He stopped before a great window, staring into the stars. But never, a race like yours. Ward said nothing. Why protect strangers, the Archivist asked. Ward answered softly, because once, we were strangers in the dark. The Archivist nodded. Then your story must be written. He returned to the high archives. And there, he wrote a new chapter. Not about war. Not about conquest. But about guardians. The title spread across every library, every data crystal, every school. The day humanity chose the galaxy. The legend said. When the stars were burning. When empires hunted the weak. When fear ruled the void. One race stepped forward. Not to claim worlds. Not to build thrones, but to stand between darkness and the innocent. And so the galaxy learned a new law. Unwritten. Unspoken. But absolute. Never harm the weak. When humans are watching. Years later, a new threat rose far beyond known space. Something old. Something hungry. Something that had destroyed galaxies before. Empires panicked. Fleets gathered. Weapons prepared. The High Council trembled. And once again, they looked toward human space. This time, not in fear. In hope. From deep within Earth's systems, lights began to rise. Not one. Not two. Hundreds. Massive shapes left hidden docks. Silent giants. Guardian fleets. The promise was no longer alone. Captain Ward stood on the bridge, older now, but calm. "They are coming," an officer said. Ward nodded. "Then we will stand." The human fleets moved to the edge of the galaxy. Between the ancient threat and everything that lived. The council watched from afar, breath held. The enemy appeared. Dark. Endless. Terrible. For a moment. Even humans were silent. Then Ward spoke one final message. To all races. To all worlds. To every living being. We are not gods. We are not perfect. We are only human. But today, no one stands alone. The human fleets formed a wall of light. Weapons ready. Shields raised. Not to conquer. To protect. And in that moment, the galaxy understood the final truth. Humanity was not the strongest race. They were not the oldest. They were not the wisest. But they were the only race. Willing to die. So others could live. The battle that followed would be remembered forever. But history would not record the weapons. Or the fire. Or the destruction. It would remember one simple line. Written across the stars. When humanity arrived, the galaxy stopped breathing. Not in fear. But in awe. Because from that day on, the stars were no longer wild. The darkness was no longer free. And every child, on every world, could sleep a little safer. Knowing one truth. Somewhere in the endless night, humans were watching.